Okay. You said which area are you in?
Say that again?
Which area are you in?
Oh, I'm in Galway, but I'm
Ah,
in
okay.
I'm in the county of Galway, so the weather and the reception, as you probably know from Roscommon, is
Yeah.
rubbish.
Oh no, my reception is pretty good here. I don't have any issues.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get going into this. So, who is Rachel, and how did she get into bodybuilding?
Ah, yeah. Well, obviously, my name is Rachel, and I got into bodybuilding. I was a powerlifter beforehand, so I was powerlifting from maybe 2015 to 2016, and then I loved powerlifting, but I also wanted to move out of it. I won the Worlds and Europeans, so I wanted to do something different. So I decided to move into bodybuilding, and I have not looked back since.
Okay, what made you get into powerlifting?
Well, I swear, honestly, I was a smoker, and I stopped smoking actually,
Yeah.
and I needed something to occupy my time, so and my mind. So my sister, I have a twin sister. She was doing kettlebells at the time, so I went along with her. And then I joined a club in Athenry. I loved it. Joined a club in Athenry and started powerlifting from there. So that was with Jerry Cranley. So I was powerlifting and doing classes with him. So I loved it. Just loved it. So we went and we competed with the IDFPA, which was the Irish drug-free powerlifting organization in Ireland. So I was with them for a few years, competed here and abroad, and then I just decided it was time for a change. We used to train at about 6:45 on a few days a week, but Saturday mornings it was almost 6:45, 6:30, 6:45 over in Target Fitness in Athenry. Anyone who's trained there will know how cold it is in the winter time, freezing. But it was fantastic and such a great bunch of people as well, and some great lifters, like fantastic. So we went there and I think, I was, you could be repping out like 130 kg deadlift, at flipping 7 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
So I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I think I kind of, not that I got bored, but I just wanted something different with my training. It was always hard. It was always heavy, and it was tough going. But I can tell you, it's not as tough as bodybuilding.
Yeah. And when you transitioned into bodybuilding, what inspired that? Like, did you see something in social media, or was it an athlete around here?
Do you know, it was a couple of things. A few people had said to me, "You've a physique actually good, which would be fantastic for bodybuilding. Would you ever try your chance in there?" And that was something I had thought about. Now, my coach at the time, Jerry, didn't particularly wasn't too fond of bodybuilding or bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Typical kind of countryman, thought it was a bit like, I won't say because it wouldn't be very PC of me. But he wasn't too keen on it. But I did. I just thought, no, I'm going to give this a go. So I really loved it. Didn't realize back then quite what was involved, how hard it actually is, because it is. It's severe. It is severe. Powerlifting, no one cares what you look like. You're wearing a singlet.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
can be fat. It doesn't
I was
matter.
just I was just about to ask you. So obviously, you saying you didn't know well, you didn't expect what you got into. So talk us through your first contest prep. What was going through your head now that you were going through this contest prep? And it was, obviously with powerlifting, you have a complete different type of diet and training program and everything like that. But now you're going through contest prep and you're starting to get the feels, like just talk us through that.
Yeah, but
What was going through your head?
well, back then it was. I think my first bodybuilding competition was with Ultimate Physiques. Actually, I think that was in Dundalk. Now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was that side somewhere. Uh, And like obviously I'd never competed I didn't know what to expect. Like I'm not joking, it was car crash stuff. So Jer Masterson actually at the time was my coach. My he was a big name then for bodybuilders. His partner now, Phoebe McVeigh, was like the original bikini girl. Like she was amazing. Maybe it was her actually that I had seen and thought, wow, she's class, you know, she was. I don't know if you know who I'm speaking of, but she would have
No.
been, she was really for Ireland. She was the first
Okay.
bikini fit bikini girl. Like she was amazing. Like, and she would be a pro. Now she actually has children now, and she has a business. You know, so that is where her road took her. But I have no doubt she would have been. She'd be a pro. Like she would have made the Olympia. She was that good. She was pretty outstanding. So, Ger was my coach. Sorry, there, my coach is actually messaging me now. Sorry, I should have put that. I'm going to put that on mute. Now that should be okay. Um, so it was Ger who he was a big deal back then. So he was coaching me. But you look at, you know, I was younger, not that much younger, but I was pretty younger, you know, and I suppose I didn't realize, you know, when you do your food, like, so I used to have to meet Ger every week. He'd take my, you know, he'd have the calipers out and he'd do your fat and he'd, you know, to have a chat with you and all that. And sure, like, as soon as I used to leave, I'd be gone home and I'd stop at the shop. And I think about it, and I'd be buying a bar of chocolate, maybe a packet of crisps. I'm not lying, like, it was terrible. But, you know, it kind of got me through. But you know what I mean? Like, did I
Yeah.
take it seriously? I thought I did. You know, I thought that was, you know, it was serious enough. I was sticking to my food most of the time, you know, but there was then, it was disastrous. So I went and I did that show and I was nervous. Yeah, I was nervous. I think I came third, if I'm right. Now, I could be wrong there too. And I've only done a few bikini shows because I was too big anyway for bikini, you know.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was hugely muscular, but it was just, I just had, my shoulders were too wide, you know. But I just didn't have enough muscle to fill anything to go anywhere else. There really wasn't that much else around at the time. You know, all that we had here for bodybuilding was the RIBBF, really, you know. So, and then Ultimate Physiques came in and they did the eye competition. But it was really, they were very scarce back then. That was like 2017. You know, it was pretty scarce. I think I did two more shows then in bikini. I did the RIBBF, the Irish Nationals. I came top six there, and then I did muscle contest in masters bikini and I came second there. And that was their first show in Ireland. But I knew I was too big. So I was prepping for a show in 2020 and that was pulled because of COVID.
Yeah.
Um so I waited and I did the Irish Nationals in 2022. So that was my first figure debut and I won that. So I was delighted. So I knew then this was my path.
All right. Now, when you moved across the figure, was it like a self choice, or did your coach recommend it, or what made you transition?
Oh, I always wanted to be bigger.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh yeah, I did. No, I love the bikini girls, like the proper ones. You know, the proper bikini. You know, not fit model. I'm sorry. I will never. I'll never ride that train. No, it doesn't.
Is it actually bodybuilding? Oh, we shouldn't say
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Well, you said it. Well, you know what? The bikini athletes are pretty stacked. You know, and they are amazing.
Yeah.
As you should be. I think when you're in a bodybuilding show, it should be. You should have some muscle. Come on, you know. So hats off to the bikini athletes because they're amazing. But figure for me, I love it. I love figure. I love physique. I even love women's bodybuilding to watch.
Yeah.
Um, Now I do, and I would always say I don't. We aren't little men. You know, we are women, and
No, of course. Yeah.
that's how we should remain. You know, so I think that I don't think it should be rewarded either when you can see, you know, it's very evident with some females, a lot of females, which is unfortunate. And I understand why they do it too, you know, it's to get you to the next level. But
Yeah.
God, you should be able to tell if it is male or female, you know, at the end of the day. You know,
Yes.
it's kind of sad, but I do actually understand. I do understand what gets people to that point. You know, it becomes very obsessive. You know,
Yeah.
it does. So for me, even joking about like Ger Masterson, you know, I'd be having a sandwich or I'd be eating a bar of chocolate on the way from the checkout. You know, at the end of the day, after that point, and more so in the last 3 years, I have become a better athlete. You know, it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with any coach. I won't point my finger to any coach and blame them for anything. It was actually me. I actually became better. I became more coachable as well. Now, I was always quite agreeable with the coaches. I'd agree, but sure, I mightn't do it, but as you go on, it is for yourself. And I have become a better athlete. I can definitely say that. And usually, you know, this year was exceptionally good for me. Now, because I did really put the work in, and
Yeah.
it's not the training, it's the food, you know, it's the thing.
Speaking of putting the work in, I just want to show the audience this. So, to the audience, this is Rachel's page. Okay. But can we talk about this, please? This conditioning. Look at this. This is
Yeah,
absolutely crazy.
it was wild. It was wild.
So, how deep did you have to dig to get this kind of conditioning?
Oh, like I'm not joking, it was tough. When I say the words, I was beside myself many times, like absolutely thought I was going to lose my mind. And I'm not joking. And that was the hunger. Like the hunger was so bad at times. I couldn't think straight. I laugh about it now, but I work in Galway City, well, pretty just on the outsides of the city in a medical device company. And I always go in a little bit early. So with a few of us, we'd have a coffee in the morning time. So I had the coffee and went to the bathroom before I went into the clean room.
Yeah.
And when I went into the bathroom, I came out, it was like I actually had wore my bikini bottoms for stage into work and my underwear. Do you know what I mean? Do you know how uncomfortable that was? I didn't notice. Like for 10 hours, I was like that. I was like, I need to go home. I need to get some sleep. you know, Stuff like that. You think you're okay, but you're so not. You're not
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
But to get the conditioning, yeah, it was tough. It was really, really, really tough. And my God, I actually, for the first time ever, I could understand why athletes binge. Now, I didn't binge, but I felt like it many times. And I understood. I really did. I
Yeah.
could understand why they throw in the towel and just go bananas with food.
Yeah.
It's really tough mentally. It's like, you know, it was crazy.
I mean, I've yet to still experience it, but like I presume it must be difficult contest prepping in this kind of weather. Yeah, I mean, obviously coming from South Africa, we've got good weather most of the year, so contest prep's fairly easy.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have beautiful weather outside, you have options, everything is nice, you know, because when you get that mean, believe me, you're cold. I was cold a lot. Like I was wearing a lot of clothes. People would be like, "Oh, you must feel amazing." I mean, I felt like death. I really did. I like death. I looked terrible as well. My face, I was actually, you get to a stage, I don't know if other people have felt like this, where you're nearly embarrassed for people to see your face that bad. And I
Yeah.
was like at that point, I was, I said to my daughter, I have two daughters, and I said, I'm embarrassed to go down to the shop because people are going to be like, I'm going to scare people with this face. It's like scary at the best of times, but it's really scary now. So yeah, it wasn't nice. It wasn't. It's like terrible. It's crazy. So you do like the fake tan goes on a bit more, so you don't look quite like you've been dug up out of the ground. You know, you try and have all these little things that you can do to make yourself not look quite as bad as you do, but you do look terrible.
Yeah.
You know, thank God for makeup. Thank God for stage makeup. Do you know what I mean? But it is. It will teach you an awful lot about yourself. This
Oh yes.
sport.
Yeah. Oh yes.
It really will. It will separate the men from the boys, as they say. It really does. Like it does. You dig deep. You dig deep.
And how does your family feel about you doing bodybuilding?
Oh, I'd say they think I'm absolutely nuts. They don't say too much. I think they're afraid. No,
Yeah.
I have twin daughters, and sure they're so used to watching me through powerlifting and now through bodybuilding. They just think it's kind of normal. I think, but
Oh,
not
okay.
normal.
Yeah.
As in like there's not another parent in their national school or in their secondary school, sorry, that does what I do. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we live rural. We're in the countryside. So, it'd be a bit like, I think sometimes there's a bit of who does she think she is? Sure, I don't think I'm anyone. You know, I'm just a country bumpkin who lifting weights who gets on stage. I have no notions about myself. I don't think anything. Someone asked me not too long ago, how do you feel when you win? I said, I feel the exact same when I lose. Doesn't like it's nearly surreal. But then I always think it's not that I don't live in the present. I really do. It's quite strange when you're up on stage and you're winning or I don't think anything. I just think, oh my God, like I don't have any inside. It's not like a joy. It's not. It's kind of. It's really surreal. I don't even know how to explain it. Um, I don't get off stage going, yeah, I won. I just think, how am I going to get to the Olympia?
Yeah.
how, how do I get that good?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And
how are 20 something year olds getting to the Olympia? Do you know what I mean? Like and they're crazy. They look amazing.
yeah, and the genetics are crazy, hey. But like, I mean,
Crazy.
not to just throw that word out loosely. Like, I don't want them to think that I'm taking away from their hard work or anything of the sort. But yes, it's just, yeah, it's just they have crazy genetics. Obviously, they work hard and they do their whole meal prep and everything. But like, it's just that they're crazy. So no disrespect to anybody that thinks I'm just throwing the word genetics out there.
No, you're so, so
Give-
right though. You're so right. Genetics plays a huge part. And like, listen, I have seen some even now that I'm friends with on Instagram. And if I died and was decomposing for a month, my waist would not be as small as theirs. And
Yeah,
it's just, it's like there are some people that it's wow. And you know what? Please God, let them get up on stage and show everyone what they look like because they should. Because it is something to behold when someone has genetics that are that good and they keep it all to themselves. How greedy. Do you know? How dare you? So they should get up and shine, and hats off to them. I wish I had those genetics. I have pretty okay genetics that has gotten me to this far, because myself and I have a twin, like I said, we have the same type of genetics, quite big shoulders, massive traps that I don't want. But, I'm lucky that I can build the muscle I have because so many people can't, and I've seen that myself. Um, and even people that are on an awful lot of gear and still wouldn't be able to put on the muscle, and they do train hard. It's just that
yeah,
genetically they don't have it. And that's quite sad, but it's just life. I also do not have a tiny, tiny waist that would make everything else I have look bigger, So for me, I just have to try and make everything else bigger because my waist isn't small, you know.
yeah. Well, just some advice. Take it, don't take it. The next time somebody
No.
says or comes across as like, who does she think she is? Just be like, I am literally the most shredded person on this island. You can't tell me.
Yeah, I will. I will. I probably have said that. I
Okay. Would you say,
you know,
yeah?
no, sorry, go on.
And I was gonna ask, were you active growing up, like in school and stuff like that? Were you into sports?
I was really into Mitchin. You know what Mitchin is?
Uh,
School hooking, getting out of school. I know,
yes.
you know what? When I was younger, I did used to play camogie. In fairness, I did. And then as I went, I was really, really shy as a child, like unbelievably so. You might believe that now, but was, it was chronic, how bad I was. So actually that seemed to shake off a little bit when I got into secondary school and I met my friends, the good ones. So then I was playing camogie, but then sure we found alcohol and then that took over. Because, when you're from the countryside in
Yeah.
Ireland back then in the 90s, there was nothing else to do, you know. We didn't even have mobile phones. They came out later, like at the end of school. I swear to God, that's how old I am. you know. So we should we just be drinking the whole time? But we were innocent. It was innocent. It wasn't like we weren't doing anything bad. We were just
Yeah.
drinking, having a few cans, trying to get our hands on Linden Village or some awful poison like that.
Yeah.
And we'd be going down. I'd get killed for this. We go down at school break time, lunchtime. We'd be playing pool in the pubs, and we'd be drinking pints in our school uniforms. Get away! You'd be killed now. My daughters was at that. I'd scalp them. But it was just, look at different times, different times. But I do remember going, and I'll never forget it. Later on, years later, when I moved into Galway City, and I used to do a boxing. It was like boxing fitness thing, but it was serious enough because it was in Galway City Gym, which is, a serious gym, and it was even more serious back then. So myself and my few friends that I used to live with, we used to go boxing. I don't know if it's Wednesday or Thursday, but I can't think of the girl that we used to do the class, but she was stunning, right? And she was really fit. And she came up to me after the class one day and she said, Rachel, you need to speak to Tony, who had the gym, like runs the gym. You have like really good muscle tone and structure. I was, I was horrified. Horrified. That was it. I don't think I went back after that. That's how different the times were then. Like,
Yeah.
ew, imagine me having muscle like a man. Ew. Because we wanted skinny arms then.
Yeah.
Skinny, like pencils, not having any muscle on them. And that was it. I didn't go back. Why? I'd love to slap myself in the face now, knowing that. Do you know what I mean? But it was different times and it was pretty awful. Like there's no way you would have had any muscle back then. Not
Yeah.
hope. Yeah. But I do remember one time I had seen Phoebe, the girl I was talking about earlier, Phoebe McFay, and I had seen her and she must have been prepping for some show and she had like a little top, some kind of t-shirt, but you could see her delts and you could see her biceps. And it was beautiful. And I think when I saw her, I was like, oh, I want a bit of that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you should get her up. She probably won't because she'll probably just, what would I say? She'd say, but she is very good.
All right. Oh, I'll drop her a message and see if she'd be open to jumping on.
Yeah.
And then, outside of bodybuilding, do you have any hobbies or interests?
Do I have any hobbies or interests? Well, like I said, I have teenage daughters that are 17 who are in school now but have part-time jobs as well. So I do drop them to and from there. And because we live in the countryside, I have to bring them everywhere. So kind of doing that all the time outside of bodybuilding. I do work full time as well, and I do bits and pieces outside of that because, as I'm sure you're aware, it's not cheap to live in this country. So any other hobbies? I don't really know. No, I suppose I don't really. I mean, I go for a few walks, I go for hikes, and we take off on adventures, that kind of stuff. But as hobbies go, I suppose bodybuilding is it.
That
You
is.
know, I don't know if between work, like I work full time, and then you're training, then you're cardio, you know, it's quite
Yeah.
hard to have other things. I don't really know. I don't watch TV. When I have something on, it's YouTube. It's all about fitness. It's all about strength. It's all about all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
you know,
All right.
yeah,
And are you working with a coach or are you doing things by yourself?
yeah. So I am. I was working with Mike Westwood last year or this year. Sorry, putting it into last year. But and he started coaching me last March, and so he brought me all the way through to obviously all my wins for this year, which was fantastic. He was great at the shows and all that. So obviously when I came out of my contest prep. I was supposed to do Milan, but I was too tired this year. I then went into my reverse. I had my own reverse plan done. Like I'm a qualified PT, and
Yeah.
I've done enough of these shows now to know not to go too crazy because you suffer in the long run. So I flip in, reversed myself, and then I did get talking to a guy called Callum Abbott, Callum Precision Coach over in the UK. So
Okay.
he is actually coaching me now.
Okay. All right.
And for no other reason other than I like to learn different avenues of doing things,
Yeah.
So I learned everything I could from Mike. Now I'm going to learn everything I can from Callum, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And can we sorry, I'm going to go back to your page again.
You're okay.
Talk to us about this.
Oh, my NABA universe.
Yes.
So NABA universe, I love NABA first off. So
Yeah.
last year I actually got second place at Naby Universe. Now I did get an invite, so I didn't go through the usual channels of doing a show and then, usually you have to qualify to do it, but I actually got an invite. So I went and I placed second, and I knew I'd be going back this year because I had another invite because I got second place last year. So my intention was to win
Yeah.
my athletic figure category that I was going to be in. But as it happened, I got moved out of athletic figure and put into trained. So there was, like I said before, there was 14 of us in athletic figure, and then there was 8 of us in trained. So 4 of us got moved from athletic into trained. So I went there, and I won. I was so shocked because I was up against some serious, like, they were big girls, Um, and what I would say is I probably, even though I mightn't have been quite as big muscular wise as some of them, I definitely had the condition. I was the most conditioned there.
Okay. Is that
So
where you won
yeah,
the pro card?
that is where I won the pro card. Yeah. I
Okay.
was so,
Nice.
that like was, so during the start of the year, people say, you manifest things. Like now I knew the things I wanted this season, and like I couldn't believe I got them all. The only thing I didn't get was my IFBB Pro card, right? So I did win the overall at Two Bros, August 30th.
Okay.
I won all the age categories and the height categories, and I won the overall there, right? And then the
Yeah.
week after, I went to PCA Manchester, and I was moved from athletic into trained, and I won that, and then I won the overall. So I came home with the sword. That was a week apart.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And then I had to do muscle contest here, and I won that. So I did that on the 26th of September. I had to do that to then go back and do the pro qualifier for Two Bros. So I went back. That was on the 18th of October. Sorry, October, wasn't it? Yeah, October. So on the 18th, I did the British Championships with Two Bros. I didn't get the pro card, but I won the category. So I won British champion. And then the day after, I went to Newcastle that evening after Two Bros. So straight off the stage, stayed straight onto a train up to Newcastle. Took us about 3 hours to get there. Had to register with NABA, and then the next day. So Saturday I won the British Championships, and Sunday I won
Crazy.
NABA, NABA Pro, NABA Pro card, and my debut Pro show. I won that as well, and then I won the whole NABA universe
That's
title.
crazy. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks so much. It was amazing.
Okay. Is there anything for like newbies or anything out there that you would recommend coming into the sport?
Mm. Oh yeah, there's a few things. Like I would say, right, if you are serious about the sport, I would just stick with the plan. Believe me, you will get to your destination a lot quicker. A lot quicker. I know sometimes it's really hard to do that, but if you want to be top of your game, you have to. It's grand. Everything is about learning. People are mature, they're immature. There is that. It does take time as well. It's pretty full on. For females and males, actually, I'm going to say this for both. I would be very careful about your coach. I would also be very careful about what they're saying for you to take. At the end of the day, you're the one
Agreed. Yeah.
taking it, and some of these changes are irreversible, so I'd be very careful with the compounds that they use. Just make sure you know who you're speaking to, you know. At the end of the day, they want the result.
Yeah.
You're the vessel, so it's your health at the end of the day. So I'd be very careful about that. They're the things, less is more. Less is more. People think putting in this, that, and the other is going to make them amazing. It won't. But it will
No, it
destroy
won't.
your health
Yeah.
if it's done incorrectly,
No,
Food is amazing. Like in your off season, push the food as high as you can.
that's without getting fat, guys. Don't take it into too much into context. Okay, and then with regards to your journey in the sport, is there anything you would have changed if you had to go and do it again?
Um, oh, I wish I had started earlier. Um, I wish what that time in Go With to the Gym, I wish I had taken that advice. But hindsight is a wonderful thing. What back then it wasn't the scene. I would have been a freak show. And sometimes I'm a bit of a freak show now, and I don't even have that much muscle. Like, you know, I'm only I'm only small, really. I'm only a little country potato, you know. But yeah, I would just try and build as much muscle as possible and as much strength as possible. I kind of come off a lot of social media as well. Can play havoc with your mind.
Oh, it definitely can. One of the
Yeah,
questions I actually get asked a lot from, be it followers or like on like questions from my podcasts and stuff like that when I do it with the guys, is always that the whole thing of like, how do I get my mind away from? I've actually stopped answering the question. How do I get my mind away from, you know, looking at influencers or people on social media, and then it damages my self esteem, or I feel down, and then I have to like explain to them that they shouldn't do that.
yeah. Well, there's a couple of things I would say about that. The first one is no matter how good somebody looks on their Instagram pictures, believe me, because I have competed against a lot of them, they're not that good in
Yeah.
real life. And that is really the God's honest truth, right? And the second thing that has gotten me through every single competition, that's why I don't think too much about if someone beats me, there's always going to be someone better. Like, just get over yourself first of all, right? But as long as you have beaten your last look, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I ever look for. And I say it time and time again because I really mean it. Once I can absolutely say I looked better than the last time I was on stage, that's it.
Yeah.
You can't do anything else. Like, you don't know what someone else is using, you don't know what they're taking, you have no idea. So all you can do is try and beat yourself. And that's it.
Correct. Yeah. And if you never got into bodybuilding, what would you have got into, or what would you have done?
I think I definitely would have done some kind of sport. It would definitely, 100%. I don't know. I get loads of DMs asking me, do I want to do wrestling? But I don't think it's the kind of sport we're thinking. There's some very strange people out there.
Yeah.
Do you know? And like insane. Have people lost their minds? Like, what the hell? Yeah. To my daughters, yeah, I'm off wrestling now. It mightn't be on the channels you're going to be watching. Crazy. Um,
Imagine them.
what
Imagine them
I
sitting there watching the TV.
love.
I'm saying, imagine them sitting there and watching the TV, and the whole hour goes by, and mom didn't even come on. Like, oh, what happened?
Oh, you need your credit card details for that one.
Yeah.
Stop. I'd have my rosary beads on me first. I can tell you absolutely that will never happen. But you know what? I do love kettlebells. I have a real affection for them.
Yeah.
Any kind of weight training stuff like that, I love. Um, so that would definitely be something. Maybe competition kettlebells or something I would have gone into. And for sure, I would have done other things. Maybe more strength based. I don't think I would have done strong man stuff, strong woman. I
Yeah.
don't think so. I see an awful lot of injuries with that sport.
Oh, yes, definitely. I've got
I
friends that
think
are strongmen and forever injured.
yeah, forever injured. I'm like, what's the point? You're going to absolutely destroy your future. Like, you know, God help the poor person, woman or man that's left with them, listening to them complain about the pain of their back forevermore. Do you know? No,
Yeah.
no thanks.
But respect to them, like the stuff that they lift is absolutely
Oh
mind
no, it's
blowing.
great. Yeah, no, it's crazy and it's fantastic. It just for me as a sport, it wouldn't be for me. Like, I know. And I do think they're amazing to lift the weights they do.
Yeah.
But each their own. They don't think that bodybuilding is a sport either,
Of course, yes.
You know.
We don't lift much.
Even though now we see Pau Dwyer is moving from strongman into bodybuilding, he's going to be competing next year.
Oh, that's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. Geez,
Yeah.
he has gotten himself into great shape, you know.
Okay. And then where does Rachel see herself in the next 5 years with bodybuilding?
Well, this is what I would love. if my dreams came true and I work hard enough, I may not be good enough, and this is as simple as that. Like, and when I say those things, I'm not going, "Oh no, Rachel, you are good enough." I'm not
Yeah.
waiting for someone to say that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I do look at myself very subjectively as well. I can see that I have a thick waist. I can see, I could improve in certain areas. Blah blah. I don't look at myself and think that I'm putting myself down. I just am being realistic in this sport, and people need to be. So I would like to, obviously, next November, I'm going to look for my pro card, the IFBB pro card. I'm going to go to Milan. That's what I would really hope for.
Okay.
So I'm going into Masters Milan. Now, if people think that makes it easier, you're very much mistaken, because
No.
these women are stacked, like stacked,
And they seem to get into some crazy conditioning as well. So I was like,
crazy. But I tell
yeah.
you, they won't beat mine. Because I will be sure of it. There is no way I'm absolutely going to nail my condition again. I will, and I'll have more size. Now, because even though I'm not huge, I have enough size for me, for just a little bit. I just need to maintain now and improve on a couple of parts. So as long as I can keep the head, that's obviously what I would like to do. And then I would like to obviously go to Nabi Universe and defend my title in the pro show. So I'm a pro athlete with them now, so I can only do pro shows with them.
Professionals. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fantastic. So I can only be Miss Nabi Universe once, because I won that as an amateur
Yeah.
last month or whatever. So I can't ever win that again, but I'll be forever in the history books. And I'm the first female from the Republic of Ireland to win it.
Amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it is amazing. Why am I not in the Galway Advertiser? They don't like female athletes here, I tell you.
But the way things operate here, I'm surprised at how slow they were. By the time you get it to them, they'll only publish it next year when you win your pro card.
Yeah, I swear to God. No, they won't. It's really weird. They just, maybe it's because it's not GAA, or because it's not like WMBFI, which is the natural. It's quite strange. They wouldn't be very supportive here, but
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. I'm not doing it for their support anyway. I'm doing it for myself. I want it for, when my grandchildren are here. Look at Granny. Look what Granny did, when they eventually come around.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're born. I mean, how could you not want to have something like that? You know, isn't it pretty amazing?
Can you imagine them saying to their mom, like, "Mom, why is Granny naked on stage?"
Yeah. What's she doing?
Yes, exactly.
I'd still be on stage. I'd be 85.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's almost concluding our interview. I just have a couple of rapid fire questions that I normally do at the end.
Oh, go on.
I just shoot them off at you and then you just answer them. Don't think too
Oh,
much about
geez.
it. Just
It
go
won't
for
be
it.
maths or anything. It's not going to be mathematical.
No, no, no. Nothing like that. All right. Let's go for it.
Go
Beef or
on.
chicken?
Beef.
Okay. Favorite exercise?
Deadlift.
Okay. Spoon or fork?
Spoon.
Okay. Favorite song?
Wish we're here. Pink Floyd.
Favorite movie?
Mm. Mm. The Grinch.
Okay. All right. That's pretty cool.
Well, now, in fairness, I don't watch films. I haven't watched TV in 7 years, but I do like The Grinch. I
Yeah.
do like that. When I hear it, I even love the sight of it. I do. I don't. Do I have a favorite film? Probably from years ago, like when I used to watch films. Probably something like The Shawshank Redemption or something. The Green Mile. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
It's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, beef definitely, because I don't know what they're doing with chicken, but it don't taste as nice as it used to. I don't know what it is with the chicken. Now, I'm very particular with my meat.
Yeah.
I may be poor, but I have standards. I do. Like, I can't, there's certain chicken I won't buy. Like,
Yeah.
it actually turns my stomach, like. So I do eat a lot of chicken. And I don't buy much. I don't drink very rarely. I think I've had a couple of glasses of wine since my competition has ended. Like, I'll have a few drinks Christmas Day, but that would be it. So I don't do anything, It's not like I'm out partying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do like to have nice meat.
Yeah. Well, it's very hard to partaking, like partying, if you're like serious into the sport, because
Oh
like
yeah.
obviously, yeah, you mess you up for the next day, and then you know,
Next day, next week. I'm
yeah,
so old now. It just would absolutely kill me altogether. I'd be depressed at my brains. I'd just be like, why did I do that? Why did I get up on that man's shoulders? Why did I do that? Yes, Feral. I am only joking. No, but like one thing I would say to people as well, if you're considering, if you're apprehensive about going to the gym or those type of things, I would honestly say people that are in gyms, that work in gyms, that train there are very nice people. Like you're going to meet very few that would be not nice, right? And
yeah,
the other thing I always say is, imagine you can transform your whole body through lifting weights and food. Like to me, that is pretty special.
yeah,
Like, how couldn't people not want to do that? Like, I don't get it. You know, don't get it.
yeah. No, it's extremely fascinating, and it blows my mind as well. As long as I've been in it, it still blows my mind.
Yeah, like I have a dumbbell and I have some food, and I can absolutely transform my body from what it looks like now in the next 6 months. Like, how could people not want to do that? It absolutely drives. I just cannot understand that. You know,
Yeah,
and the further away you are from that, the harder you just want to work to get to it. But I think people have especially for females, because we've been taught incorrectly all our lives about food. They think they need to starve and it needs to be miserable and suffer, and it doesn't.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's actually pretty amazing.
It's strange because that you say that, because a lot of my clients that come to me for coaching all have this fear of like carbohydrates. It's weird.
I mean, imagine fearing carbs, and they're so amazing.
It is. And then like 12, 16 weeks down the line, they're like, oh, this is amazing. I didn't know I could look this good and have this much carbs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm telling you, that's school that has done that as well. The school and stuff. It's learning about the food pyramid.
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense. Do you know what I mean? So we have been taught wrong for forever, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd say just try and get as strong as possible.
That's,
Strong and eat food to power your body. It's that simple.
yeah. Okay, Rachel, is there any famous words or motto you'd like to leave for your followers or fans?
Um. Oh, if you're going into bodybuilding, one thing I would definitely say, would it be a motto? Would it be a saying? I'd say just don't be a dick. Be humble, stay humble, and don't be a dick. Like, and that's another thing. As amazing and all as lifting weights is, right? And to transform your body, you also just lift weights from A to B. It does not make you a better person than the person next to you.
Yeah.
Some people
True.
would want to remember that, you know,
Yeah.
like get over yourself. Stay humble, like, of course, now, I do think as well, like sometimes people are probably looking at my pictures on my Instagram and they're like, well, what's she saying? You know, I don't look at myself. I think, right, next year I'm turning 50. So I'm like, well, I look at myself and I think, that is pretty fucking amazing. I've just done that. This is what you can look like. And this is what I did look like. And I know where I'd
Yeah.
rather be. So I don't think I'm anything special. I just think I've worked really hard. I don't think I'm anything special at all. So if anyone wants to say that, you're wrong. Because I think people, and I have said it before, make up little stories in their head about a person so they can hate on them,
Oh, yes.
or they can,
100%. 100%.
do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So there's no reason to hate on me because I don't do dirty by anyone. Intentionally,
Yeah.
anyway, I don't. If I've done it maybe unintentionally, I would put my hands up and admit that. So there's
Yeah.
no point hating me because I haven't done anything. You know, I don't think I'm great and I don't think I'm anything special. I just think I'm me. So yeah, just be nice to people, but don't be fake and don't be a fraud. You know, that's it. Just be yourself, and it's quite hard in social media terms, to try and stay that way because all I see now is I don't know if you're seeing the same. Like everyone, like now, and I had done something a little bit similar there a while ago, and I just said I am not doing this anymore. Like everyone has discount code for everything,
Oh,
right? Every coach now is sponsored. It's the coaches that are sponsored by the supplement companies so that they can push all the stuff onto the athletes. For me, it's becoming too much business transactional. Nothing to do. We're getting so far away from bodybuilding and actually what it is. Eat your rice, eat your bloody potatoes and your chicken. You don't need millions of supplements.
Yeah.
Look back in the day. Look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, all that era. They looked amazing. We're kind of not looking that good anymore.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I still think they're looking amazing.
A lot of them do, but if you look at the big guys, the guts, if you look at the guts, the swollen, distended bellies on an awful lot of athletes now. Now, there are some phenomenal athletes, but then again, is that genetics, and like have they got some serious whopper genetics? So I just think sometimes, are we just being sold too many lies now about why do we need all these things now that weren't here before? Honestly, I think our food has been poisoned.
I was going to say probably the quality of food is that I will 100% agree on that the
Yeah.
quality of food is not the same as what it was back then because everything's
Oh God,
chemically
it's not.
infused to like last longer.
Exactly. You don't remember, well, I remember you're not as old as me. When I was a kid, a tomato tasted like a tomato. Tastes
Yeah.
like nothing now. Doesn't even have a taste. It's just a thing. What is that? Tastes
Yeah.
like nothing unless I've loads of salt in it anyway.
Yeah.
But so the food, yeah. I mean, I think we just need to start all over again. Start growing our own. Sure, who has time for that?
Yeah. That too is actually quite time consuming.
It is. It is. But hopefully it'll all fix itself at some point.
Yeah. But all right, Rachel, thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Oh, Thomas, you're more than welcome, and thank you for the invite. It's very
Awesome.
nice chatting to you. If I'm ever over in Roscommon, we'll go for a coffee.
It's perfect. Sounds great.
Lovely stuff. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks, Thomas. Take care.